Are you a chosen one living in isolation? Have you become comfortable doing everything solo, living on your own? You may even think that you prefer to be on your own and not have many friends. If that sounds like you, stick to the end of this video because I got something you might want to hear. Just the other day, I had a realization that snapped me out of a 13-year long living in hermit mode cycle, and I wanted to share this experience with you in case you find yourself in the exact same situation that I was in. When it comes to living in hermit mode, in 2012, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and ever since then until about 24, 48 hours ago, I've been living in hermit mode. Now, during that time, I can say for the most part, living in hermit mode was absolutely necessary while I was doing all the healing. But what I more recently discovered was that my living in hermit mode for the last few years was actually stemming from a place of fear. See, over the years, I got my master's degree in how to be a hermit from Hermit University. Preferred to be alone, did everything solo, and that was my comfort zone. What I did not realize was that in the last few years, being comfortable in hermit mode was actually stemming from a place of fear because I thought I was protecting my energy. And God forbid I should cross paths with another individual whose vibration was lower than mine and could disrupt all the work that I had achieved over the years. I formed a belief that other people could affect my energy in a negative way and that it was out of my hands. More recently, I came to the realization that once you step into your power and you realize that you are in control of your energy and what affects you and what does not, I realized that my hermit mode was stemming from a place of fear. And what I realized was that I actually have a lot more in common with my old drinking buddies who are unconscious of the fact that they are gods creating their own reality with their thoughts and beliefs than I do with most people in the spiritual community. No offense to the spiritual community, I have my spiritual besties, and I know there's good spiritual people out there. Recently realized that I'd rather listen to sports stats, gambling experiences, and dumb things done after a few too many drinks than have another conversation with a spiritual person only to find out that they're smiling to my face and going behind my back and sending me black magic and death spells. I realized was that, there actually is something honorable about two grown male adults coming together, having a disagreement, and getting into a physical altercation because at least those two individuals are willing to be honest about their feelings towards one another to each other's face. And when it comes to the spiritual community, I've met some of the biggest weasels that this reality has to offer. In the spiritual community, I've had people smile to my face and then go behind my back and off a goat in an attempt to summon up a demon to come and have me unalived. I've had arsenic put in my drink. I've had death spells sent to me that caused individuals their lives or caused their sons to jump off a building. Slander against my name, individuals getting into car accidents. Of all the times I've gone out with my drinking buddies at the bar, I've never gone home and had to wonder if they were gonna go home and put my name in a jar with some graveyard dirt and chant death spells over my name. And once I realized that stepping into my power meant that no other individual had the ability to affect my vibration, I realized that I was living in hermit mode out of fear that one of my old, more unconscious friends may disrupt my energy flow. And once I realized that when an individual steps into their power, no one else has the ability to affect your energy. We as light workers are actually meant to get out there and put ourselves out there and spread our light. So if you're a chosen one and you've been living in isolation for a long time and you feel comfortable and you're like, this is how I'm going to live out the rest of my life, just know that you may be doing so out of fear that others could affect you, or maybe you've been through a lot of shit like I have and you just don't want to repeat all that. But once you step into your power, you need to understand that you're actually meant to get out there and spread your light and bring knowledge, and just being in the presence of other individuals is going to heal them. Even if you don't say nothing, all you talk about is sports stats and gambling experiences, whatever it is. So if you're living in hermit mode out of fear, you need to realize that you're actually meant to get out there and spread your wings. And for me, I have a lot more in common with my old drinking buddies than I do with the spiritual community. And I feel like I just went from having no friends to a lot of friends.